I'm playing in a D&D 5e campaign that's playing on Roll20, and I have been for the last 18 months, playing once every 1 or 2 weeks on average. So we're on session 47, so maybe a little over more than once every 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm just starting to wonder. We're playing the out. We didn't start in the Out of the Abyss campaign, but we've got into it, and I don't know how far into it we are because I haven't read it. But I'm just starting to wonder whether I should continue, and I probably will. But the pros and cons, weighing up the pros and cons. The pros are I like the group. I like all the people in it, and they're a good set of guys. The second one is I want to get to the end of Out of the Abyss. I'd like to have done it, so I've done an official D&D campaign. Another pro is I like gaming, and this is a reliable gaming fix. I enjoy it, and occasionally it's great. And another sort of pro or reason to continue is once I've started something, I like to see it through to the end. Of course, real life might get in the way, and it might be impossible. But if that's not the case, I'd like to see it done. Just sort of that's my character. The cons are really not that serious. They're niggles. And the pace is very slow. Sometimes we can spend an entire session just interacting as a group or chatting to 1 or 2 NPCs, getting a little bit of information about the setting and planning what we are going to do with the next obstacle. But what our resolution of that problem will come in the next session. For example, the GM is also very slow or very cagey in giving us information. We don't know much about the world. He doesn't tell us much sort of things. Just we're in things before we know it, and we have little opportunity to plan, shape the world around us, and make sort of what feel like meaningful decisions. I mean, I'm exaggerating. We can make some decisions, but we don't know very much information to base our decisions on. He's very cagey with the information he gives. And also another sort of niggle is that I get the impression that a lot of the monsters know what he knows. Not what they would know, but what the GM knows about us. They sort of have tactics which take into consideration our strengths and weaknesses, and stuff like that. These things in a single session or even a sort of short campaign wouldn't matter, but over the course of 18 months of gaming, they sort of accumulate. But to be honest, I think the biggest problem actually isn't so much in-game as I GM, and as such, I sort of evaluate how he's GMing, and I think he's conscious of the fact that he's being evaluated. I don't do it. I don't choose to do it, but I do it automatically. It's a way of thinking. It's just an automatic process of thinking. So, and I think he's aware that I'm evaluating him a bit, and so I don't think the relationship between me and him is quite the same as between him and the other players, and I'm wondering if I am having a negative impact on the campaign because of that. I try to switch it off. Overall, I think it's something we can control and live with, and I'm going to see the campaign to the end if it's real world possible. But I'm just wondering, have you ever left a campaign as a player? As a GM, you may have had to decide to eliminate a player from your campaign because they're a bad influence. But as a player, have you ever decided to leave a campaign for one reason or another? What are they, and or would you never leave a campaign? How committed are you to a campaign once you've signed up? My name's Caius. I love role-playing games. I'd like to see you win one.